Hey everybody, I am John Barker, and in this episode of Here to Record Show and Tell, we're taking a look at the ATEM Mini, the all-new tiny switcher from Blackmagic Design. In the interest of full disclosure, Blackmagic Design has sent this pre-production unit over to the channel to take a look at, make videos about, and then hang on to after the reviews are done. But they're not going to watch this video before it's posted, or any of my content before it's posted. So let's take a look around the device itself. On both sides you'll see these vents just for some airflow. And on the bottom you have a couple of rubber strips to keep this thing on your table and not move around. On the back you have all the connection points. So you have power via the included 12-volt cable, a connection for Ethernet control or attaching it to your router, USB-C, that's where you send out the webcam signal, and you can also use the ATEM software control via USB. HDMI out, now this is configurable in the software and we'll get to that later. You have 4 HDMI inputs, all with individual scalers. And then you've got 2 mic inputs, and these can be set to mic or line level in the software. Then on top is where all the buttons are. Starting at the top left, we have the mic input controls, and then we have audio controls for the 4 HDMI inputs. Things like on, off, audio follow video, etc. Below that are the source buttons, which can be set for direct to program mode or program preview mode. Then you have 2 more buttons there, media player still and black. Over here we have picture-in-picture positioning and on and off. And then an upstream keyer on and off toggle. And below that are your transition controls like the duration and the transition effect. Things like mix, dip and DVE. Then finally you have the transition buttons like cut, auto and fade to black. The buttons are very responsive actually. A little tap on the corner even registers that you've pressed it. But you can lean your fingers on them and leave them there and not feel like you're going to accidentally press. The setup process for the ATEM Mini is pretty easy. Just plug it in, put in your sources, and then connect up your outputs. And before I connect any of my sources, I've just popped into the ATEM software control, and you can see the set video standard as auto mode. Now when I connect one of my cameras, it detects that camera in the switcher and sets it to that mode. It's 1080p 50 in my case. Now any other source I attach to other inputs will be matched to that first input. So for example, I've plugged in my Canon cameras at 1080i 50, 1080p 50. I've plugged in my laptop at all sorts of different resolutions from 720p up to 1080p. And I've also plugged in things like my iPhone and iPad. And all of these things just scaled to 1080p 50 to match that first camera that I attached. So that's a quick look at inputs. Let's talk about outputs. If I connect up this HDMI monitor to my HDMI output of the ATEM Mini, I do have a few options. In the software control, there's an output drop down, and I can choose it to be any of my inputs, or I can choose the preview or the program and set it to that HDMI output. I can also send the source 1 straight out through that HDMI output as well, so you could connect up a games console and not worry about any processing or delay happening within the ATEM Mini. Then if we take a look at the webcam output, I've connected that to my Mac, and it just shows up as a webcam in software. So things like Skype, Zoom, Wirecast, OBS, it all shows up just like the web presenter did, but this time it's in 1080p. So let's talk about multi-view. That's not an option in this switcher. If you want multi-view, it's not that much more to go for an ATEM Television Studio HD or something up in that range. You're not talking about much more money, you're not talking about a very expensive device, and if you want multi-view, then I think you want this for very different reasons. I don't think this device is at all pushed towards that crowd. So if you want the ATEM Television Studio with multi-view and loads more inputs, then you should go that way. In this case, this device is not really for that kind of audience, not really for those kind of use cases, so multi-view is just not an option. So who is this thing for? Well, of course Blackmagic Design has a bunch of different use cases on the website, things like streaming and seminars, but I've just taken a look at ways that Here to Record would use this at gigs and things like that. So here's a few use cases that we would use it for. First up will be meetups. Now I don't bring my ATEM Television Studio to a meetup because I think it's way overkill for that kind of setup. I usually bring one camera and a screen recorder and some audio gear. But I think that the ATEM Mini will slip in very nicely to that. HDMI out of my camera into there. I can bring the presenter's laptop into my ATEM Mini as well. And then audio can go in through the mic in as well. So everything I need is right there. I can also set up a live stream for the meetup, something I've never really encouraged them to do before because it would take a lot more gear for me. But now it's as simple as firing up OBS and starting the live stream. A second use case is H2R Live on this YouTube channel. Now, we don't go live too often here because, well, for many reasons, but one is that the ATEM is all packed away, ready for its next gig. In this case, the ATEM Mini can just sit on the desk and be ready to go. And in that live scenario, I can use things like H2R graphics for graphics during my live stream, and it's super easy to set up some chroma keying within the ATEM Mini. And a third case is a projection in a venue. Now, not all the conferences and gigs that we do are big ones with AV crews and all that stuff. So sometimes I want to offer to my customers that I can take over the projection system and I can seamlessly switch between a logo and also the presenter's laptop and things like that. With the ATEM Mini, I could bring that as well as my ATEM Television Studio and have control over the projector and not see, you know, someone just plugging out their laptop and everything resyncing and all that stuff. It's a bit distracting for the viewers. I can easily just seamlessly go to a logo. And on that note, the capture still option in the media tab makes it really easy to grab a still. And now you can use that in the media player, throw it up to a projection screen and seamlessly switch between presenters' laptops. And of course, with all that good stuff said, I want to talk about a few things that I would love to have seen in the ATEM Mini. One would be 2 HDMI outputs. I would even sacrifice one of the inputs, so 3 sources in and 2 HDMI outs. Then you could have sent a program out to a recorder and a preview out to a monitor just to see what you were doing before you cut to it. And something else I really would love to have seen would be some maybe custom buttons or macro buttons. I know I'll probably never use a DVE squeeze in a production, and if I need to, I know where it is in the ATEM software control. So a few of these extra buttons thrown on the front maybe could have been either configurable or maybe just for my purposes, just not there at all. So that just leaves the price, $295 or £255 I've seen it for, which is a really great price for this device. If you use it for nothing other than one simple little use case, then it's probably worth just picking up, having it in your bag, because I'm sure something will pop up for it. Release date, I'm not sure, I don't know any more than you, so end of November-ish, sometime in November, it'll be nice to see it out there and people can get their pre-orders in their hands. So that's all for this video. I have a ton of things that I didn't even get to talk about, things like audio, EQ, compressors, limiters, all that stuff. I didn't even really talk about chroma keying. I didn't even talk about the upstream and downstream keyers much at all. There's so much more to talk about, so I'll make more videos about this in the future. But if there's anything you want to see, just leave it in the comments below and I will try to get back to you, or I'll try to include it in an upcoming video all about the ATEM Mini. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.